right, so I'd love to get to all the thank yous, and I just want to warn everybody, when a project takes 7 years, there's one unintended consequence, which means you get 3 mayors at the presentation that have to speak. So the guys behind me took on the start, and I was able to slide right in here and get the ribbon cutting done. So I got the more fun job of the 3, but I appreciate the mayors being here. Real quick, I want to recognize our city council and former city council members. I would normally say stand up. We got such a great crowd, you're not going to see them, but we have plenty of our current and former council members who all played, of course, a vital role in this happening. Our CRA, I mentioned our 2 former mayors, Ashton Hayward and Grover Robinson. A big thank you to Bear General Contractors who made this beautiful park. Evergreen Skateparks as one of our subcontractors. HDR Engineering, our engineering firm. Kimley Horn, the architect. American Ramp Company. And of course our city staff, Public Works, Parks and Rec. There is a lot that goes into this. Not just building it, but helping have this vision come to life, as well as maintaining it from this point forward. So today just is the beginning. We want this to be a park that you're proud of, and so you know that journey for us in our Parks and Rec department begins today. So a huge thank you to city staff, the Kugelman family, our project donors, and of course to my man up here, John Shell and Upward Intuition. Funny story I tell John all the time is he asked me about doing a skate park fundraiser 6 years ago in front of Perfect Plane, and we just asked the question. Remember, I opened Perfect Plane, there's really nothing else on the block at the time, and I asked the question, or he asked the question, is it all right if we have people skate with ramps out front on the sidewalk? You know, it's a state road. I'm like, yeah, sure, it's totally fine. Now I'm the one enforcing those rules, so no one else is allowed to do that. But John and I were able to raise a couple dollars, and that was just personally my first interaction with how much passion and energy is behind making today happen. So a huge, huge thank you to my friend John for being the visionary to make this a reality. We do have other elected officials, of course, in attendance. I know I saw County Commissioner Kohler here. Commissioner May will be here. Sorry if I don't see you again. Great problem to have. We got a lot of people, but yeah. Oh, there he is. He's stuck in right behind me. A couple things real quick, and then we'll get to some other remarks. A $2.2 million project funded by the city, design funded by the Restore project through Escambia County, ARPA funding, the CRA, and of course managed by Public Works and Parks and Rec. So many hands in here to make today happen. This is approximately 25,000 square feet of skate area and 5,700 square feet of surrounding sidewalk and gathering. And it was built to be for all age, all skill levels, as you can see. Now, I know why we're all here is to see Mayor Robinson shred in here in just a second. So he's going to be doing that on behalf of me as the acting mayor. But we're really, really excited, and this really is 7 years in the making, a true vision in the making. And this is the cool thing. These are the cool things that can happen in the city of Pensacola when we put our minds, our blood, our sweat, tears, and energy into something that we think will be amazing to make this an amazing place to live. So thank you to not just everyone up here, but thank you to everyone out there that helped raise money, that volunteered. Round of applause for everybody here. It's a community project, certainly in every sense of the word, all of us here. So with that, I'll introduce District 6 Councilwoman Allison Pack. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here today. I can feel the energy. I mean, there's so many people so excited about this new amenity for our community, and I'm excited as well, particularly to be representing this district. You know, I had the opportunity to come out here, I don't know, 6 weeks ago or so, I think, with John Shell and the mayor, and got a chance to meet the Evergreen folks who were here and who did this beautiful work that you are looking at today. And it turns out they are all skaters. Their work is their passion, and their passion is their work. So I think you know, you can see the love that went into this skate park when you look at it, and I know it's just a fantastic new amenity for our community. As the mayor pointed out, this has been a very long project in the making, as demonstrated by our 3 mayors and administrations represented here in the Newsroom City Council. It's amazing that we've finally been able to get this over the finish line. I want to say kudos to John and to everybody else who worked on this from a skate perspective, and the ones who were passionate enough, even though there were obstacles like COVID, like funding issues, to really work hard to make sure those obstacles were overcome and this skate park is a reality. I also want to give John credit. He's invested his own time and money in an old building in our neighborhood, in this neighborhood, in our community, that used to be a community center and asset. And he's going to bring that back as a great place for our community, locating his nonprofit next door. And I think that's really going to elevate what we are able to do here at this park. So I'm super excited about that, and thanks to John for that investment. And then lastly, I'd just like to say that while we're standing in a skate park dedication, this is really something bigger for our community. This and the community garden right behind us are part of the community corridor of the Hollis T. Williams Greenway project. And it's super exciting to see this project starting to come to fruition, and hopefully we'll be able to get more funding to be able to build out the rest of the project and bring our neighborhoods together that were once separated by this interstate. So I am super excited about this. Thank you for letting me be here and make a few remarks to you, and I will be now introducing former Mayor Ashton Hayward.
How's everybody doing? Let's give a big hand to D.C. Reeves, our new mayor. I mean, D.C. had to talk about how many people were here and how many square feet it is, but look what we've done as a community since 2010. This is your park with the vision of John Schell. John came to see me in January of 2015. He said, Ashton, I want to build a skate park. And of course, back then I said, let's do it. And I'm sure my city staff goes, what the hell is Mayor Hayward getting into now? But you know, everyone here, you are the reason why our community is great. Each and every one of you make Pensacola great. John had a vision, he was determined, and he was a doer. And philanthropy stood up, everyone at Parks and Rec stood up, all of our employees stood up, our council stood up, and this is what it took, and this is what it's become. Look at this day, so you should all give yourself a pat on your back for what it's become. Give yourself a round of applause. And Mr. Schell, I told John this morning, I said, John, a lot's changed in 8 years. John got married, he's got a child on the way, John, so a lot can happen in 8 years. One of the biggest things that we've done is to create the place where people want to live, work, and play. That's what Pensacola has become. I called DOT when John said he wanted to do this project, and I said, we got to paint I-110. I said, I have a young guy that wants to build a skate park. And I said, one thing it can't be is ugly, because we're creating value down here in Pensacola. The gentleman that owns the Handlebar, Chris McKean, where are you? I don't know where you are, but we had a half pipe in 1980, and now the guy's bought a bar behind us. David Kegley's built his business around here. John bought this building, this grocery store over here. You guys are creating value for Pensacola. So enjoy your time today, enjoy your families, make memories, and bring the next generation along. Thank you for allowing me to have a small part of it. What a great day for Pensacola. It's amazing. Couldn't be better weather. I think Lumen, the city, definitely had the weather today instead of the county. But it's a great day for the city of Pensacola, and I'd like to thank the mayor and the city of Pensacola for allowing me the opportunity to speak. Like when we broke ground here just a few months ago, right in this very spot, it's hard to believe and see it like it is today. But I focused on 3 words, and I want to kind of touch on those again because they are so important. The first is diversity, and that's diversity of amenities. I think any great city needs plenty of different amenities. In the city of Pensacola, we have so many different things for you to do, whether it's boating, paddle sports, soccer that we've done, our traditional team sports like football, basketball, baseball, coastal access like what's going to be at Bruce Beach, and this skateboard park. This is awesome and gives us wide range of things to do. So when you look at it, you may not do everything in the city of Pensacola, but you would be hard-pressed to find something in the city of Pensacola you can't do. And I think that's what makes cities great, and it's amazing to see this here for the city of Pensacola. Also, the second word, perseverance. I'd like to thank John Shell, as people have done already here. John, I know we talked a lot about perseverance the last time, and I appreciate the perseverance you've done. I know many of you contacted me during COVID and said, where are we going to go? And we were like, well, we're waiting to get the overall plan for, as just Allison said, what we're going to see here for Hollis T. Williams Park that's going to go for miles up to the north of us to get done. And those were challenging. And then we got through COVID and we found out this was going to cost a lot more money. But thank you to all of you who showed up. I think it was about this many people that packed Hagler Mason and came in there to Hagler Mason to make sure we got the funding, the additional funding from the council to make this happen. So this has been great, and I'm very happy to say we're down to the last word, teamwork. You can't do projects without teamwork. And I would like to thank a few people, especially in the city of Pensacola, who were part of this. I saw Kareth and David, Brad, Adrian, the whole Parks and Recreation team I saw over there. As I would say, we see Amy 1, Amy 3, and Amy 8. That would be Miller, Lavoie, and Tootle. We don't hire everybody named Amy at the city of Pensacola, but I thank them for what they've done. Casey, Escambia County, and Commissioner May for what we're going to do with Hollis T. Williams Park, Bear Construction, Kimberly Horn, and HDR. Together, we do great things, and when you have teamwork, you can do this. And while we're on teamwork, you don't always get to speak as a former official, but I would like to finally take an opportunity to recognize our new mayor, DC, and our new council for the teamwork they've done. Working together, we're going to see more great projects like pickleball, like the tennis courts at Roger Scott, and what most of all, that we'll have the Blake Doyle Skatepark here very shortly. What can happen when you work together as a team? So thank you. I'm very happy just to be a small part of that team. Thank you to all those who contributed to this. It's amazing to see what it looks like, and it's amazing to see what we're going to do in this city. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Let me just say that I'm excited about being here. When John came to me, and I think it was longer than 6 years, or maybe 8 or 9 years, and he talked about, Lumen, I want to do a skate park. I said, where do you want to do the skate park at, John? He said, I want to do it in the hood. I said, well, I'm already in, man, if we're doing it in the hood. But it was my #1 restore project, and I'm going to tell you why it was my #1 restore project. Because it represents Hollis T. Williams, the first African-American city council person to ever serve in Pensacola. And his son, David Williams, who served on our school board, is here. David, thank you for the legacy, and thank you for your father's legacy. We appreciate it. And when I talked to John, I knew the great legacy of his father. I knew the great work that he had did in the field of law. And I said, John, won't it be great, man, to continue the legacy and following your father's footsteps of just giving back? So give it up to John for doing something, and give it up for his father and mother for still being here to see their son make a huge difference here in our community. I thought about it when I was coming up here. I said, what's a good way, City Council, County Commission, to derail a project? Put it in the hands of 3 mayors. So I want to thank my dear friend Ashton Hayward, Grover Robinson, and Mayor Reeves for continuing making this project a success here on the east side of Pensacola. So give it up for all 3 of our mayors for a great job. And I really did have a lot to say, but for 8 years I've had to talk behind Grover, so that meant that my 3 minutes was up because Grover doesn't know when to kind of hush. So I know that most of y'all came here for one reason. That's to support and recognize the dreamer, the believer, the creator, the visionary, the person who believes that he can make a difference in his community by taking a skate park to unite people, red, yellow, black, and white, rich, poor, west side, east side, north, south. And he brought this park underneath the interstate that, as Allison said, once divided our community, but today it unites our community. The person with that vision is none other than your friend, my friend, all of our friends of this community, John Shell. John.
How you guys doing today? Jeez, you're gonna make me cry up here. Wow. You would think that I had 8.5 years to figure out what I was gonna say today, but I spent the last probably 30 minutes trying to figure that out and just think about what this really means. Besides it being an awesome skate park for everybody to enjoy. The groundwork for this park it was laid long before, but for me, this all started in 2015. I wrote a blog post called Forgotten Youth that basically outlined why our city needed a space like this. A space not just for skaters, but for the musicians, the artists, and the kids that might not be into team sports. For the kids that might not have many people to look up to as they're navigating their way through middle school and through high school, when it's so easy to go down a path that can have real consequences for the rest of your life. First skate park in Pensacola, the paved wave, closed in the late 70s. You got some paved wave guys here right now. Shout out Freddie, Esposito, Sean Green, Rick Hanks. Right around that same time, Interstate 110 was built, and you're actually you're standing in an area that once was a neighborhood and something Commissioner May and I talked about a long time ago. It was a thriving neighborhood. It was a good neighborhood, but the interstate came in 18 blocks flush, were bulldozed, and since then it's kind of become like a dividing line in our city. We got the east side, the west side, and it's kind of in many instances it's become kind of a vacant, blighted area. And I think this is relevant to mention because there's a lot of stuff now that divides us today besides just the interstate, whether it's politics, religion, race, gender, even vaccination status. And regardless of all the hate that's fed to us from every angle, I really believe that we all have more in common than those things that separate us. And I think a lot of those things that separate us are kind of petty, kind of stupid. So I want to reiterate that this skate park is for everyone, and my hope is that it will be a place to bring people together from all different walks of life. When I think about that blog post, the Forgotten Youth demographic that I wrote about in 2015, it makes me think about Avery Stark. Avery was a skater and a musician. I know he spent a lot of time popping fence out here and skating out here, and I know that that's something I probably would have done when I was his age, so it's something that's very relatable to me. And he lost his life recently doing what many of us do every single day, and it's just so devastating, and it just doesn't seem right, it doesn't seem fair, and kind of gave me a similar feeling personally to when all this was beginning, and we decided to figure out a way to make this happen, and decided to persevere to bring this to fruition, and that was to honor Blake Doyle. So I think my personal takeaway from kind of these experiences is that the life is it's so fragile and it's so finite, and every day we have a chance to choose what we focus on and how we spend our time. And kind of made me realize I want to focus on love and the things that bring us together rather than the hate that's coming at us from all angles and those things that divide us. I think skating, art, and music all have the potential to transcend much of what divides us. We've got an event planned out here on June 10th. It's called Opening Day that includes all of these things. We got some incredible skaters coming out. Andrew Reynolds, he was the Thrasher Magazine's Sody, aka Skater of the Year. Jamie Foley, he was also Skater of the Year. We got the New Balance team. We have some amazing bands and some amazing artists that are going to be a part of it. And I just hope that all of you can come out, make some new friends, and just have a really enjoyable experience. We've got some people over at the Upward Intuition tent. Our friend Andy Prince and Adam Roth are over there if anyone would like more information on the event for June 10th. Come see us, and we'd love to have everyone involved. I just want to sincerely thank you all for believing in this project. It's been one of the most rewarding and fulfilling experiences of my life, and I just appreciate all of you more than you know. Feels like the end of an era, but I know the next era, the next generation is just going to be so fun, and I'm so excited to just share those experiences out here with all of you. So yeah, let's skate.
Well, John, if you miss doing this, we could work on a second skate park in 2033. So just let me know. All right, so I don't know what the record is for a ribbon cutting in the city of Pensacola, but I'm just going to speculate that this is it or pretty darn close. So thank you everyone for coming out. We're going to now officially cut this ribbon, and then the first person's allowed to skate. Right after that. Okay, so no one skate until we get this ribbon cut. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. If y'all kind of stay in place, we'll shoot from up here and keep everybody in the back to get as big a group shot as we can, if that's possible. So we'll cut it right here, but face this way. Thanks, guys.
So the media, we can give you guys a minute to come over this way, and then you can shoot that way.